In a small restaurant in Little Rock, Arkansas, an 8-year-old boy walked through the same glass doors. And every single time, he noticed something that hundreds of adults never did. He noticed the tired eyes behind the smile. He noticed the exhaustion hiding behind the jokes. He noticed a man who gave kindness to everyone, while barely surviving himself. And what that child decided to do would change a family's life forever. In Little Rock, there's a familiar glow cutting through the morning darkness. The yellow sign of Waffle House. Every weekend, the Hunter family walks in. Kayzen, his mom Victoria, his dad, his siblings. They always ask the same question. Is Devonte working today? Because Waffle House isn't why they come. They come for Devonte Gardner. Devonte greets Kayzen with a high five. Every single time. Before Kayzen even sits down, Devonte already knows the order. Scrambled eggs with cheese. No toast. Hash browns covered with cheese. An Arnold Palmer. He never writes it down. He never forgets. And he always smiles. The kind of smile that makes you feel welcome. The kind of smile that makes you feel seen. But sometimes, the people who make everyone else feel seen are the ones no one is really looking at. After the plates were cleared, after the tips were counted, after the lights dimmed, Devonte didn't go home to comfort. He went home to survival. His apartment had become unlivable. Black mold crawled across the walls. Rats scratched behind the drywall. His daughters, Jade and Amora, started getting sick. He had no choice. He packed what he could, left behind what he couldn't save. Most of their belongings stayed. The mold had claimed them. The only place they could afford? A motel. $60 a night. Every tip Devonte earned went straight to that room. The money he'd been saving for a car disappeared overnight. So he walked. Miles to work. Miles back home. And every day, he walked through those doors. Put the smile back on. Because customers don't tip sadness. One afternoon, Kayzen came in with his grandfather. It was quieter than usual. And somewhere between refilling drinks, Devonte mentioned he was looking for a cheap car. Most adults would nod politely. Kayzen asked questions. Why don't you have one? Devonte hesitated, then told him about the motel, about the girls, about the mold, about walking. Kayzen listened, really listened. And in that moment, he didn't see a waiter. He saw a father trying not to fall apart. That night, Kayzen couldn't stop thinking about it. He told his mom, "We have to help Devonte. Not maybe. Not someday." Victoria thought it was sweet, until Kayzen wouldn't let it go. At breakfast. In the car. Before bed. We have to help him. So they started a GoFundMe. Goal: $500. Just enough for a used car. Kayzen wrote the description himself. Devonte is one of the most joyous and positive people you've ever met. He always greets us with the biggest smile. I hope your heart is as big as mine, and you will help me spread kindness in the world. At first, donations trickled in. $10. $25. $50. Kayzen refreshed the page again and again. Then a local news station shared the story. Then it spread. Then the Washington Post picked it up. And suddenly, it wasn't just a local story. It was everywhere. The goal passed $500. Then $1,000. Then $10,000. Then $50,000. Within a month, $113,000. An 8-year-old asked for $500. The world answered with more than $100,000. When Devonte was told the total, he thought it was a mistake. Then he started crying. Not quiet tears. Real, shaking sobs. "I've been struggling quietly," he said. "I didn't want to ask anybody for anything. That's the part that hurts." He never asked. He just endured. And a child saw him. The first thing Devonte did was move his family out of the motel. A real apartment. A full year's rent paid up front. No more counting tips at night. No more fear. Then came the car. Kayzen went with him to pick it out. They sat in it together. Devonte turned to him and said, "You're gonna sit right here. I'll pick you up from school." That car wasn't transportation. It was dignity. When the Hunters returned to Waffle House the next weekend, Devonte was still smiling. But now, the smile wasn't hiding anything. It was relief. For the first time in months, he wasn't surviving, he was breathing. He promised most of the money would go to his daughters, so they won't have to struggle anymore. Hundreds of adults saw Devonte every week. They saw the smile. They saw the service. They didn't see the weight. An 8-year-old did. Because children don't overthink empathy. They feel it, and they act. Kayzen didn't ask if it was realistic. He didn't assume someone else would help. He noticed, and he moved. When reporters asked Kayzen how it felt to help, he shrugged. It just feels good to help someone else. And that's the truth adults forget. Kayzen was the smallest person in that room. Youngest. Quietest. But he saw the most. Most adults walked past Devonte's struggle without seeing it. An 8-year-old didn't just see it. He fixed it. Sometimes the biggest hearts come in the smallest people. And sometimes all it takes to change a life is one question, and the courage to care about the answer. If this story moved you, share it, because somewhere out there, another Devonte is smiling through survival, and maybe another Kayzen is waiting to